every time I went somewhere or like when I went to class, I would really get nervous if my accent came through. I often found myself hiding my accent or getting really nervous when I got words mixed up.
People do not usually expect me to be Latino until I start speaking, and still they're trying to figure out where my accent is from, and they're usually asking like from Mexico, Venezuela, but never from Panama. It's always a shock to hear from Panama because they don't really know where Panama is.
I was born in Miami and I lived there until I was like 7. So I learned English, and that's why I don't have an accent. So when I meet people, they just think I'm from the United States, from any part, or Miami. But when I tell them I'm from Panama, since I lived there my whole life, I always say that I'm from Panama. And I tell them that Spanish is actually my first language, then they're very surprised because they're like, oh, but your English is so perfect, you don't have an accent, like, it doesn't seem like you're Latina. And break it to them.
I often get asked why I know how to speak English. Like, why is my English so fluent? I just tell them I was raised in a bilingual school, and they're like, oh, that's why. And I'm like, not only that, like, Panama has a really big influence, a big American influence, considering the canal at first belonged to the Americans.
People often react saying like, oh, but you don't seem Latina, you don't talk like a Latina, your English is perfect. Then they hear me speaking Spanish and they're like, oh, yeah.
People do not assume their skin, and people assume that because of that color of your skin, you're not Latino, but they don't realize that being Latino is actually like a culture, and your language is just the race of it and color of your skin.
I think people assume I'm not Latina because I'm fair skinned and have blue eyes. People don't expect me a fully bilingual Latino, and like that's really sad to think, because you're basically saying to us that we are not at your level to like know 2 languages and be, really culturally diverse. We're so much more than Spanish language, or we're much more than rice and beans,
I do feel welcome in campus. There are a lot of opportunities and people who are very welcoming, and because there are people who also have some Latino culture or heritage, they make you feel welcome.
I do feel welcome on campus. We do have a huge community of Latin people here. Because we do have the Panama campus, we transfer in huge bunches. So to make us feel like home, we'll do gatherings and put, Latin music, reggaeton, salsa, and, try to embody our day-to-day lives from back home and project them here.
I like to surround myself with Latinos just to, speak Spanish, talk about our favorite Spanish music, or go to like our Latin get-togethers and parties, and just that helps me feel at home. I also like cooking foods that I have at home that my mom makes or my grandma, and yeah, just surrounding myself with people and the culture, listening to a lot of Spanish music.
Being Latino for me, it's coming from a country in which the culture is very old, and you speak the language from that country, and you feel part of something. And every time you see someone who's a Latino, you share something, even if it's not a person from your own country.
Being Latino goes beyond the color of your skin. It goes beyond what language you speak. It's the values we share. It's sharing a one true love for everything that makes us Latino: food, music.
Being Latino means belonging to just one big family, I feel like when you're Latino, it doesn't matter what country specifically you come from, you're always connected to just like a big group of people. If you're walking around and you listen to someone speak Spanish, immediately you just feel like that drive or like impulse to ask them where they're from, and then just like an instant conversation starts, and you realize you have a lot kind of in common with the person.
Sharing our diversity, sharing our heritage, and just, learning and loving one another.
Being Latino means that, in a way, I'm very open-minded, because in Latin countries, you see all types of people. Doesn't matter like the color of your hair, if you're like a blonde with blue eyes, or if you're like dark skin, you're still Latino. So we're all just like one race, but we just look differently. So we accept everyone as we are, as opposed to like in the United States, the way you look divides you. So Latinos, we just all look different, and so we like are more accepting of people, and there's not that much that divides us or makes us judge others. I feel like we're more accepting